Example 7, factor x squared plus 9x plus 20. And while I'm thinking about it, I mentioned earlier before I started recording that we're going to do something called things that are quadratic in form. And that's, again, coming up in a future lesson here pretty shortly. But this is what a quadratic expression looks like. It's a trinomial. The highest power is x squared, thus quadratic. Square is a quadrilateral, that's where it gets its name. X squared, x to the first, constant. So constant, x to some power, x to double that power is quadratic in form. So for example, if I have x to the, let's say 2/5 plus 9x to the 1/5 plus 20, this is quadratic in form. It's not quadratic, but it's in form. It has the same form. We have a constant, we have x to a power, we have x to double that power. This is going to factor exactly like that would factor with one slight difference, and I'll show you that in a minute. When we get to the answer to that, we'll come over here and do the answer to this, and you'll see how easy it is to do this. So, looking at this, x squared plus 9x plus 20, it is just 1x squared. There's no common factor. Nothing evenly divides into all three of these objects. So since it's just 1x squared, I'm looking for two numbers that multiply to make 20 that add to make positive 9. What are those numbers?
5 and 4.
5 and 4. So the factored form of this is simply going to be x plus 5 times x plus 4. All right? Notice x is this guy right here. The middle term is x to the first power. That's what goes into both of these factored forms along with the two numbers that I found, right? This is 1x to the 2/5, then we have a 9 and a 20, and the powers match so that we've got a constant, power of x, double power of x, quadratic in form. So if I factored this, the two magic numbers are still 5 and 4. But this time, what goes in front is going to be this guy. No more difficult to factor if you recognize that it's quadratic in form. That's going to be a strategy in a lot of problems in the earlier lessons where things are quadratic in form, but it's something you're not accustomed to doing. So this is something I want you to start looking for when you see a trinomial. Is it quadratic in form? Is it a constant with a power of x and a double power of x? If it is, it factors just like a normal one would. You just have this guy going into factored form instead of x.